Another part of my story about having been on the ground and the mountaintop and then back on the ground and rising has to do with my car. Now, I don't know what it is, or I guess I do. Women, when things are going bad, there's always the car stories. But anyway, after many years, I'd finally gotten my dream car. It was a Navy Saab convertible. It was gorgeous. However, during the whole BP shutdown, into about the third year, things were getting really tight. I mean, it was really getting very hard to stand. And everything, all bills, everything was behind. It was about ready for the bankruptcy filing. Any rate, the repo people called, and I haven't had any dealings with repo people. So they call and, they want to pick your car, but my car is in the garage. Thank God it wasn't, it was parked in the garage. It was not on the street because I had a house with a garage. And I tell them, I said, well, I actually have the money for the car. I will bring it. I will drop it off at the bank tomorrow after work. And they say, okay. Now, me being naive, didn't realize they knew where I worked. And I thought everything was okay. Any rate, about 10 o'clock that morning, I'm at work and my assistant called me and tells me, Barb, they're towing your car. So anyway, I'm just like devastated. And that is one of the very few times that I shedded tears. Now, I shedded tears. I somehow knew I would get my car back. I didn't know how, but I knew I would do that. But I'd allowed them to make a fool out of me. And that just really hurt my feelings. But that turned out to be a good thing because me being the solution person, call up someone the same day. A bankruptcy attorney is recommended to me. I get to him everything he needs the following morning. He files the papers, and really he was on it because in 48 hours, I was able to go and get my car. But the funny part about the car, because you have to somewhere try to laugh at this stuff because you will just be crazy. You'll just be crazy and evil anyway, so many people are. Anyway, maybe. But at any rate, so I get my friend who's a real driver, and I asked her if she'll take me to get my car. Because it turns out that the repo people, I'm in Illinois. Actually, I'm in Joliet, Illinois. So I'm like, anyway, I'm in Joliet, Illinois. So that's west of downtown Chicago, about, I don't know, maybe 30 miles or so. So my car, the repo people are in Indiana. So I call her and we go down to pick up my car. And they give us the directions. And at that time, you didn't have GPS, etc. But we were able to find the place. And we find this place, and it's like way back in the woods in Indiana. There's this huge, 12-foot fence or something. And there's these dogs that are Rottweilers. I mean, it is scary. It looks like some place where they may have hung a lot of black people back in the day. I mean, it was really scary looking. And somehow we ended up not getting there until evening, maybe like 4 o'clock, something like that, 4 p.m. And get my car, we get out, and my friend is leading the way out, and I'm in her car, and I'm following her. But we are in such a hurry to get out there. It's a dirt road with gravel. Now, you have to understand, I'm not one that's crazy about driving. I drive, I get where I want to go, but it's not something that I love. Where she's a real driver. I mean, she will just drive anywhere. But she feels like she's going 80 to 100 miles an hour. I'm sure she's not. But if you've ever been on a dirt road with gravel flying and dust, you can hardly see. And she was speeding getting out of there. But I was right behind her. I was not driving slow that day. So we were both really, really happy. And I was very grateful to get out of there. And after we got out of there, we were able to breathe and went somewhere and eat and moved on to, the next crisis and then the next solution. But those are just things you learn about survival, which I personally thought I could have lived without knowing about. And hopefully most of you will live without knowing, having to experience. But it was survival. And that's why I said I know there was a God carrying me, because it was just, if anyone would have told me that my life would have taken that turn without me doing anything except for wanting to survive. And I really wanted to build the oil company up because it was a way that I felt that I could make a really decent amount of money to do what I really wanted to do with, which was, of course, building a resort. Well, of course, that's probably would have been still in the room with the wrong people, but that's how I think. God made me that way. Everybody don't think that way. And like I said, I guess I drink too much of the Kool-Aid, because I figured if I know how to do it, I know how to find people who are smarter than me to do what I cannot do. Why shouldn't I have had the opportunity to do it? And that's what I believe the country girl coming up from Mississippi looking for the promised land. I repeat, as the street lingo says, I guess I drink too much of the Kool-Aid. To be continued.